What up, guys? On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Pink's new album, Beautiful Trauma. You ready? Here we go.
My perfect rock bottom, my beautiful trauma. My love, my drug. Oh, my love, my love, my love, my drug. Oh, my love, my love, my love, my drug. Oh, my love, my love, my love, my drug. Oh, my love, my drug.
Yeah, what up, everybody? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid, and you're tuned into another episode of On the Bright Side. If this is your first time on my channel, please go ahead and like this video. Click that like button right there. Share this video with your friends and family, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, okay? On this channel, I talk all things music and entertainment, but I always keep things positive, and I'm always finding the bright side of everything. Alright, y'all, so I'm here to talk about Pink's new album, Beautiful Trauma. I love Pink. I think Pink is one of the dopest pop chicks out. To me, Pink has a special place in my heart because I grew up on her music pretty much. You know, she was one of the main pop chicks in the 2000s, and she's still been able to sustain a career into the new generation, and she's been, to me, one of the most consistent pop chicks in the music industry. I just love Pink. I love what she stands for. I love her artistry. I love how she's bold and she strays away from the pack. She's not afraid to be herself. And I just love that she's still here after 17 years, still relevant, still doing her thing. And I just think it's just amazing to see someone that I grew up on and is still relevant, like was around when I was a baby. And a lot of people kind of thought she was an underdog when she came out. You know, she was competing with, like, you know, the Christina Aguileras and the Britney Spearses of the world. But you know, at the end of the day, out of all those chicks, she's the one that's still here producing great work, selling albums at a good level compared to a lot of other people, and just making really good music. And still, she's not tired. She's still touring, performing, strong. So yeah, so I can't say enough about Pink. I just think Pink is dope. She's one of the most original, creative people in the industry, and I just love, you know, her boldness and what she stands for. So, you know, she's back with her new album called Beautiful Trauma. She just released it this past Friday on October 13th, and she released it. It's her 7th studio album. She released it on RCA Records. So this album has so many really big pop producers of the moment. On this album, we have Jack Antonoff, who produced Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do." Max Martin, one of the biggest pop producers of all time in the music industry. Steve Mack, he produced "Shape of You" by Ed Sheeran. We have Greg Kurstin, who's worked with everybody from Kelly Clarkson to Adele. We also have the Struts on here. And we also have Mattman and Robin, who have been one of the biggest producers of, you know, the past few years in the pop world. As well as we have Billy Mann, who's been one of her main collaborators for her past projects. Her and Billy Mann always produce a lot of tracks together for a lot of her albums. We also have Busby and Tobias Jesso Jr., who I think I only know him for working with Adele for some of her music. But yeah, we have a lot of really big pop producers of the moment. I think they really, while all of them have worked with different artists and come from different places, they all really came together to create a solid body of work. I think one of the most interesting things about Pink, not only with her as an artist, but where she's at in her career right now, I think what's so fascinating about Pink is the fact that, you know, I think this was the perfect time for her to really put out her new album because, you know, she hasn't been gone away too long to the point where we forgot about her. You know, she's not been gone for like 10 years. But she also hasn't put out an album in 5 years, and she's not really been in the mainstream, you know, in the mainstream circles for a few years now. So we missed her, but we didn't forget about her. And I think she came right back at the perfect time for us to have remembered how great Pink is, and the fact that she's still here ready to put out new music. But we didn't completely forget about her like a lot of other artists who, you know, from her generation, who decide to either not make music anymore, or if they come back, they probably not put out an album for like 10 years, you know. So I think, you know, Pink really is lucky to have, like I said, not only really being consistent, but also I think really hit the perfect time where she was missed, but she wasn't forgotten. So she's still able to really make big moves in the music industry as it is right now in 2017. And on top of that, like I said before, I really just think, you know, there's something about her that I love. She's just so relatable, and she's always played by her own rules. And I think you know, the music industry, it's at a time right now where everyone is really working to play by their own rules, and everyone's really doing their own thing. And there pretty much are no rules no more in the music industry. Everyone's doing their own thing, and everyone's kind of coming up with their own ways to be creative with content, music, promotion, everything. So I think, you know, it's a perfect time right now for Pink to explore ways for her to be creative, and not only to having made her album, but also promoting it. You know, a lot of the creative and art direction that will go behind this album and touring it and all that stuff. I think Pink is one of the best artists at just kind of having a really unique creative direction and a really unique output with the way she attacks her eras and the way she attacks her promo and pretty much, you know, the different things that make up her legacy. So I think, you know, I really feel like this will be a really successful album for Pink, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything will play out in terms of, you know, how the public will really like this album over time, and just how her and her team really work at promoting it, you know. Alrighty guys, so jumping into the singles off this album. There's only been one single to come off this album so far, called What About Us. I love the song What About Us. What About Us has honestly become one of my favorite songs that's come out this year. Let me say, one of my favorite pop songs that's come out this year. When that song first came out, I remember I was just like, whoa, Pink, this song is big. It's big. Like, I think that song is a masterpiece record. Everything from the vocals, she killed it vocally. The lyrics are so deep and so real, and just so the lyrics are just so well written, and the production is amazing. I just think I can't say enough about the song What About Us. It's the first song off the album. It was produced by Steve Mack, who's the guy that produced Shape of You. You know what's funny about this album is you know, Pink is really working with a lot of big pop producers of the moment who are producing a lot of hits for other artists, like, you know, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran. But in my opinion, she's getting the better tracks, but she's not getting as much exposure as these other artists. Like, Shape of You went #1 for 12 weeks on the Hot 100 early this year. Look What You Made Me Do went #1 for 3 weeks, you know, like last month. You know, Pink is getting a lot of these producers that are producing hits for other pop artists, and they're becoming #1s. But she's the one that, in my opinion, that's making the better songs. But she's not getting as much acclaim and recognition for that. So I need to shout out Pink for, in my opinion, making the better tracks by a lot of these big pop producers right now, even though she's not getting that much love. But, you know, back to What About Us. I just love that song. I think, to me, that song is a replay magnet. That song, I've had it on replay ever since it came out back in August. To me, it's a song that you just never get tired of hearing. It just has everything you need. A great message, great production that you can just vibe out to, and just vocals that are just amazing. Pink is such an underrated vocalist. People sleep on the fact that, you know, even though she's a pop chick, she has a great voice, and the fact that she's been able to maintain her voice for so long, you know, it's just so amazing to me. Like, she's been in the game for 17 years now, and her voice sounds better than it's ever, you know, been. And she's always yelling. She tours like crazy. So I'm like, how you keep your voice like this? But man, go check out What About Us. That's the first song off this album. The video is out. It's an amazing record. That song is pretty much just, it's posing a question to the man, to government, to, you know, different types of entities, to relationships in your life. It's just saying, what about us? Like, what about all the plans that ended in disaster? What about all the things you promised? You know, it's just really posing that question of, when are you going to start caring about the people? And it's a perfect song for the times we're living in. We all know it's directed at, you know, just our government and our world in general. But I love how Pink did make it obvious about, she's not directing it towards the government. She's not directing it towards any type of, you know, politicians or anything. She's not making it specific. Her and the writers really allow that song to be general, and people could apply to different places in their life. I like that the song is so powerful, but you're able to really apply it to different situations because it's so universal and it's so big, you know. Yeah, there's not enough I can say about the song. I hope it continues to rise and become an even bigger song than what it is right now. To me, that's, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best songs Pink's ever recorded, and I never get tired of hearing it. I can't say enough about that song. All right, I'm done now. Yeah, so one of the songs I really love off this album is the first track, actually called Beautiful Trauma, which is the title track. It was produced by Jack Antonoff, who's the guy who produced Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do. I think this is a way better song, but it's probably not going to become a single. But she's been performing it live. She performs it on SNL, and she's been performing it on, I think, different award shows. I mean, not award shows, morning shows. So it's been getting exposure, but I don't think it'll become an official single. But it's a great record. I love the lyrical concept of the record. The song is pretty much talking about embracing the beautiful trauma that is relationships, and embracing the fact that there is as much beauty as there is trauma in being in a really in a really important relationship in your life, whether that's your partner or your family, whatever. It was beautifully written. She pretty much just like a lot, not shying away from it, but really embracing the fact that a lot of times the most important relationships in your life, they're messy. And there's so much trauma that is built into them, but at the end of the day, it's beautiful because that's what life is about, and that's what makes life go, is that balance of happiness and sadness, beauty and trauma. So the whole album was really built off of this theme, and as the album went on, the theme really showed itself well. But the title track was a great way to start the album. I just think it's a great pop record, and I really I love the vocal pattern and the hook. I love how she was like, my love, my drug, oh, my love. I don't sound good saying it, but if you listen to it, I just love the way she arranged the hook. It was just a really nice like pop record. I love all the instrumentation of the song. I love how the song had like church bells and violins. But then it also, like, when the hook came on, it had like a really like hard like pop rock beat, and it had a really like nice like hard hitting breakdown, but then it will go up and down between like a soft, gentle like violin church bell verses with like a hard hook, and I just thought it was a nice juxtaposition, and it was just a vibe, a really good record, and to me it was an instant highlight off the album when I first heard it, and definitely a dope way to start off the album. Okay, so the next song I want to talk about the album is a song called Revenge. That's the second track off the album. It's featuring Eminem. Eminem is the only feature on this album, which I was surprised by. I thought either she would have no features, or if she's gonna have features, she'd have more than one, and not only have Eminem as the only feature. But I love Eminem and I love Pink, so I'm glad they linked up. But he's the only feature on the album, and to me, this song is very interesting. I recommend listening. Go check it out. It's a very funny song. It's like really quirky. Like you have Pink rapping, I think in the first verse of the song. I think all her verses she's rapping, but then in the hook she's singing, and then M comes with his verse late in the song, and it's just a really quirky, like weird, funny song. When I first heard it, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, this is weird as hell. But then when I heard it a few more times, I was like, okay, this is cool. I remember I saw an interview where Pink was talking about the fact that she made the song because she was aiming for a rap Grammy, and I heard the song and I was like, Pink, I love you and I think you're one of the realest out, but you are not getting no damn rap Grammy with this fucking song. Like, yo, Pink is in this interview. She's like, yeah, I hit up Eminem because I told him, yo, I got this song I'm rapping on. I think it's dope, and I want you to be on it because listen, I'm trying to get a rap Grammy. I was like, Pink. Yo, I was like, Pink, this song is not gonna give you no damn rap Grammy. Like, come on. But I love Pink. And she got Grammys already, so she's straight. But this song is just weird. It had hip hop influences in the verses. Like I said, you have Pink rapping and Eminem rapping in his verse, and then the hook had like an R&B influence with like a really nice guitar loop. I thought it was an interesting song. I don't think it's that great of a record, but it was fun for what it was. In my opinion, Eminem was not that great on his verse. I thought his verse was like kind of, because we know what Eminem can do. Eminem can spit. Like, Eminem is one of the greatest ever. So it's like, it really sounded like he did Pink a favor by jumping on the track, but you can tell he didn't put that much energy into really making it like a legendary, like, classic song. It was just a fun little song for the moment. Apparently this song is going to be the next single off of the album, which I think is an interesting choice. It makes sense because of the Eminem feature, but I think it'll do well, but to me it's definitely not the best song on the album, and it's definitely not, to me, this is not the greatest that I know Pink and Eminem could come up with. They've collaborated 2 times before. I think Pink featured on one of his albums. I think it was the Relapse album, and then he featured on Pink's last album, The Truth About Love. So they collaborated twice before, so this is nothing new. But because they've collaborated before and both of the songs were good, and because to me they're both like two of the best in their field. Pink to me, Pink is one of the best pop acts out right now, and Eminem is definitely one of the best rappers in the industry. Like there's no question about either of their status as to me as two of the greatest in what they do. So when you think of them collabing, you think it's gonna be some like legendary shit, and it wasn't that great, but it was a fun little song. But definitely when you think of Eminem and Pink, I definitely think they could have came up with something more creative than this song. But it was fun for what it was, a nice little fun moment on the album. But let's see how it does as a single. I don't know if America will eat it up like that. I mean, just the world will eat it up like that. But honestly, if I was a record executive, I'd make it a single too. It makes sense because you have the Eminem feature, and it definitely is one of the most. It's definitely one of the songs in the album that jumps out at you because it's just really like quirky and offbeat. Okay, another song I really like off this album is the song called Where We Go. That was one of my favorite tracks when I first saw the album. I just think it has a really great pop hook. It was saying, you know, when I'm going down a lonely road, and when I go, I don't know where I'm going to go, but we're going to go somewhere. And it was just a cool little, like, you know, little concept. It's a really fun pop song. It was produced by Greg Kurstin, who's worked with Adele. He produced Hello by Adele, and I love the guitar loop in that song. I think that's the first thing that caught me off that song, was the guitar loop. It just really feels good, and it has a really like upbeat, kind of folky feeling in the hook. It just feels really good, and I really think honestly this song will be a good choice for a single. It might be in the future. Let's see. But I definitely think this Where We Go will be one of the best choices on the album for a single. It just has a good feel to it, and it definitely has a smart, really like concise and punchy pop hook that I feel like could be big and could really work if put out as a single. Speaking of single choices, another song that I think will be a dope single off this album because it's one of my favorite songs is a song called Secrets. I love the song Secrets. That, like, literally when that song first came on, I was like, whoa. Not only does it capture you by, not only does the production capture you, but just the message. That song was pretty much just saying, like, everybody in life has a secret. No one is exempt from having a secret. And, you know, just living with that truth about the fact that you might not even know the secrets that some of the closest people in your life have. And I just thought that, and it's funny because even though the message is so deep, it was over like a really like fun like pop song. So if you're hearing it in the background, you probably won't think she's talking about something so deep. But it was such a dope message and such a real message. And it really, even though it was a fun pop song, it really got me thinking like, man, is there anybody in my life who I really love who I don't even know? You know, if they have like a really like crazy secret that I will never know in my life, like till the day I die, like it really like, and that's what music is supposed to do. Music is supposed to make you think about stuff like that. And I mean that's not a new thought. That's not a new thought. People think about that all the time. But it was really cool just to hear that song because it was fun. But just talking about something as deep as and real about the fact that, you know, one of the traumatic parts about life, again, keeping with the beautiful trauma theme, one of the beautiful and also traumatic parts of life is the fact that we all have a secret, and it's beautiful because we can keep our security and ourselves with that secret. But it's also traumatic because we had that secret, and a lot of times no one in our life knows about that secret. So I just thought that was a dope message, and definitely one of my favorite songs off the album. I think will be a great single choice. I love the in the hook she was like da da do do do. I love that part. It just felt good. It was a smart way to like really arrange that hook. And it just made me, you know, it really made me feel good listening to it. And it made me really feel like if this was a single, it would have so many people really think about that fact of, you know, the fact that everyone has a secret, what's yours, and what are others in your life who you really care about, you know? Okay, another great record of this album that I really liked was the song called For Now. That was produced by The Struts and written by Julia Michaels. And I wasn't surprised when I heard the song because it just sounds like a Julia Michaels song and it has her DNA all over it. Julia Michaels is actually one of my favorite artists, I think pop artists that's come out this year. And I hope she gets nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys. I love her song Issues, and I just think she's a dope songwriter. Definitely one of the best in the pop world right now, and she's coming. She's like I think she's gonna be a force. Maybe even if she doesn't become a really big artist, she's gonna become a real big force in songwriting. Her pen is amazing. So yeah, Julia Michaels wrote For Now, and that song was pretty much just talking about you know, kind of putting all the bullshit aside in the different relationships you have, and really appreciating and loving the person in that relationship, and for now, in the present moment. And I thought that song was just such an important message, because, you know, a lot of times we all get caught up in, you know, really, you know, if we're fighting with somebody we love, you really get caught up in that fight, and a lot of times you don't think about the fact that, what if that person was gone tomorrow? Like, you know, how would you feel? So at the end of the day, you know, we always fight with the people we love the most in life, but sometimes you really have to just put the bullshit aside and really just, you know, be like, you know what, we gotta love each other for now. Like, we really gotta love each other in this present moment and appreciate each other while we have each other in this present moment. So I just thought it was a dope message, a good pop song. I think it was a ballad, and it was just a really good song about getting through rough times with people you love and focusing on what's most important, which is, you know, enjoying the present moment. So yeah, and Mattman and Robin, oh, I'm sorry, the Struts did produce that song. Mattman and Robin produced that song, and Mattman and Robin, it sounds like Batman and Robin, but it's Mattman and Robin. They are becoming a big force in pop music. I feel like they're producing like every other song that's becoming a hit out right now. They are really becoming a big force. So it was, you know, I was happy to see them here. I think For Now is an amazing record, great addition to the album. And again, just another example of, I think, the great songwriting that is really displayed all throughout this album. Okay, so talking about another song that I think was written brilliantly was a song called Better Life. Man, I'm telling you, there was so many great written songs on this album, songs that really will make you think about deep shit in life. And I think that's what I love about Pink so much, is the fact that she knows how to make a song that's just pop and it sounds mainstream and like really, like, you know, easy to digest, but the hidden message in that song will either fly over your head, or if it doesn't fly over your head, you'll be like, damn, Pink, that's some real shit. I remember growing up, like in middle school, the song Stupid Girls came out, and we all love that song, like Stupid, you know, it was a cool song, but she was really talking about real shit, which was the fact that there was so many girls in Hollywood around that time, and still to this day, a lot of, like, you know, blonde stupid girls who are really out here, like, just in our faces in TV shows and movies and you know photos and all that stuff in media, and they're not contributing anything to society besides like being hot. And what are they really contributing in terms of talent and really like bringing a light to the world? And that she did it with a really like basic pop song, but the message was just so dope. I mean, okay, so anyway, enough of that. I really love the song Better Life. That song was talking about pretty much, she was saying, like, you know, when I'm sleeping at night with my husband, like, I wonder, does he think about the fact that he could have a better life? Does he think about, could he be with somebody else? Does he think about the fact that I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not a good enough wife, like whatever. So I just thought that message was dope. I feel like anybody can relate to that song. Like, you know, in terms of if you've been in a relationship with somebody where you wondered, like, if you doubted yourself and you wondered, like, yo, am I good enough for this person? Or if you know you're good enough for this person, worrying about the fact that if they're good enough for you, or worrying about the fact that if even though you might be good enough for even though you feel good enough in yourself, does that person think about the fact that they could be with somebody else? And does that person think about the fact that they're not as happy as they want to be? I feel like that's something that a lot of people can relate to, feeling those insecurities. And pretty much her and Sam Du. Sam Du is a writer, up-and-coming writer. He's worked with Wale a lot in the past. He's really dope. Her and Sam Du wrote this song, and I just thought it was a great written song, one of the best written songs in the album. It really made me think about, you know, the fact that people go through that, and it's just such a dope message. I thought it was real, you know, in terms of really exposing the fact that, you know, a lot of times people are afraid to really lose somebody, and they're afraid that someone else that they're really attached to could be happy without them, even though everything seems good in a relationship. So yeah, Better Life was definitely one of the best written songs on the album. And yeah, just this album had so many good written songs, yo, I'm telling you. Okay, y'all, so talking about another song I really like off this album was the song called I Am Here. I Am Here is an amazing record. That song really had a gospel, really like major gospel influence. I actually watched a documentary on Apple Music about Pink's album, and I didn't realize this, but she actually went to a church in Philadelphia to actually request to have a gospel choir sing the background for this song. I thought that was a great idea. If you listen to the song, it sounds amazing. Shout out to that choir, they did that thing. Gospel choirs stay shutting shit down. Woo! Gospel choirs. Oof. And I was actually a part of one in high school. Shout out to Milton Academy Gospel Choir. But yeah, the gospel choir on the song killed it. This song was pretty much just talking about you know, just proclaiming I am here. You know, it was really strong pop record talking about I am here, and I just really loved I really loved what the gospel choir and the gospel influence in the song really brought to it. I really thought it really brought the song to a much better level, and I really loved like the tambourines and the hand claps. You know, classic gospel choir instrumentation. I thought it was a nice touch. Her and Billy Mann worked on this song. Billy Mann is one of her main collaborators. Like I think I said this before. Billy Mann is one of the people who have really created a lot of work for her past albums, and he did his thing with producing it and really getting together that gospel choir to really you know, really put their magic over the song. To me, I Am Here was one of the most hard-hitting songs on this album. It really had a lot of great emotion, and the gospel choir really just brought it to another place, you know. I really thank Billy Mann and Pink for just making this song and for deciding to have the gospel choir in it. I think it was a great touch, and it's just such a big song and it's so inspirational. You know, she's just screaming on the song, I am here. I love it. It feels so good, and I love this song because I think it really shows how versatile Pink is. Pink can go from doing like pop to rock to like gospel, like in R&B. Like, she's so multifaceted and she never allows herself to be caught up in a box. And I just love that this song really showed you know, not only different elements of her roots in music, because she really started out making R&B music if you look at her first album, but it also just shows where she's at right now in terms of versatility. Like, she can do it all, and she's not afraid to do it all. And I love that she's one of the few, I think she's one of the few mainstream pop chicks that is really not afraid to try like different stuff musically, and to really, like, you know, go outside the lines of what a typical pop chick is like her is it's like supposed to do in the industry, you know. So I love Pink for that. I Am Here is definitely a highlight off the album, in my opinion. Alrighty guys, so the last song I want to talk about of this album that I really liked was the song called You Get My Love. That was the last song off the album, a really big ballad. In my opinion, this song had the best vocal performance on the entire album. She killed it on the vocals. Pink sang her ass off on this song. I thought it had great lyrics of just saying, you know, you get my love. You know, it's a nice little like romantic closer to the album. Just saying, I give all my love to my partner and they're the one that gets all of my love. It was a great, like, you know, nice slow burning closer to the album. Not surprised because it was produced by Tobias Jesso Jr., who is the guy who who's worked with Adele on a lot of her records on her albums. So yeah, it was just a great closer to the album and really a great showcase of what Pink can do vocally. If you don't know how great Pink is as a singer, or if you doubt how great she is as a vocalist, go listen to You Get My Love, the last song of the album. It's an amazing record and a perfect example of what Pink can do, where she really kills it vocally. Okay guys, so as great as this album was, I have to admit there's a few tracks I didn't like. Actually only two, so not bad for an entire album. The first track I didn't really like that much was a song called Barbies. That song was written by Julia Michaels, and it was a great written song. Not because Julia Michaels wrote it, but she did do a good job of writing that song. But it sounded weird coming from Pink, because Pink is almost like 40 years old now, and that song was talking about pretty much saying, Pink was saying, you know, at my age, like, life is so stressful. Excuse me. She was saying, like, life is so stressful, and, you know, I want to go back to my childhood and play with my Barbies, because that'll take me back to a time in life where, like, life was simple, and, you know, that whole narrative. You know, there have been plenty of songs written like that. And that's those songs are great songs where an adult is talking about wanting to go back to their childhood because that's when life was simpler and free of bullshit, and we all can relate to that if you're an adult, and it's dope. But it just sounded weird coming from Pink because she's like almost 40. I think it would have sounded better if Julia Michaels sung this, like a younger pop artist sung it. It would have sounded better to me. But I think Pink being almost 40 years old, it sounded kind of weird. But it wasn't a bad record, but it just didn't like. I don't think it was as impactful, and it didn't hit as hard as I think it would have if a younger artist like made it. And I'm not trying to be ageist, but it just I think at Pink's mature, Pink is a legend. She's a veteran now, and she's almost 40, so it's like it just sounded weird coming from someone of that age. But it wasn't filler. At least it was still a great record. It wasn't filler. It just wasn't I feel like as impactful as it could have been if maybe another artist had taken that song, And the last song I wasn't really feeling off this album that much. Again, speaks to how good this album was. It wasn't a bad record, but I just wasn't feeling it that much. Was a song called "Why Hearts Can't Be Broken." That to me, that was a cool lyrical concept as well. But it just didn't hit me as hard as I kind of wanted it to hit me. It felt a little bit flat, a little bit boring, but I love the title of the song, and I thought it was a great concept, but I feel like it could have hit a little bit harder. But at the end of the day, even the tracks that weren't that bad, even the tracks that I didn't like that much, they really weren't that bad. I think they weren't as good as a lot of the other tracks that really populated the album, and I think the other tracks were so dope that when those tracks came on, I was like, this is alright, so. Alrighty guys, so that was some of my thoughts about some of the tracks on the album. I think I pretty much broke down every track on the album. I know y'all probably like, damn, he blabber a lot, but this was a good album, so I had to talk about it in depth. All in all, I really thought this album was amazing. Like I said before, I'm so surprised that at this stage in her career, Pink is still able to make I don't want to say this as good of a record, but I think in this stage in her career, Pink really could have made a mediocre album easily. But I really commend her for really making a really good pop album in 2017. At the end of the day, I feel like making albums is a hard thing to do these days because people don't really listen to entire albums like they used to, so I feel like the drive for an artist to make them is not there like it used to be. Honestly, the culture of music these days doesn't really allow for people to really I think respect an album. Everyone respects a single, everyone goes crazy for a single, but no one really goes crazy for bodies of work anymore. So for an artist like Pink, who's a veteran and who's made many albums before, she could have easily just been like, what, I'm just gonna put out this album just so I can make more money and continue my legacy or whatever. But and not put that much energy into really making it a dope project. But it really was a great album from head to toe. It flowed great. I think the timing was perfect. It didn't feel too short. It didn't feel too long. It was about 15 minutes, I think. It was perfect. And this album really felt complete. That's what I think is the best thing about this album. It didn't really feel like it was missing anything. And I think it's really easy to create a great album when you have a great theme and you stick to it. And I think the theme of Beautiful Trauma was something that was very clear throughout the whole album. And I think that is what helped this album so much, is the fact that it had a clear theme. It wasn't too long or too short, and she really just put together a good team of producers and songwriters, and she had a great outlook for, I think, where she wants to go and the message she wants to put out there. And I think for this era, Pink is really trying to embrace the fact that the world is fucked up right now. People are just, people are unhappy, and there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in the world right now. But at the end of the day, there's so much beauty in that, and there's so much beauty in human nature as well. And I think that's a great message to put out there. And I think I really think she weaved that theme beautifully into the album's tracks and into the lyrics. I think from head to toe, this album has amazing production. It has amazing lyrics. Vocally, she's killing it as always. Pink is just so consistent, and I really wasn't mad about this album at all. I think it was a great project. Definitely what I recommend if you love pop music, or if you're just a fan of Pink, you'll love this album. But yeah, no complaints on this album. I really think it was a great, complete project. I think it has a lot of great single choices. The next single is going to be Revenge, the song with Eminem. That'll be interesting to see how that does. But, I think that personally the best songs for single choices after Revenge at least are Where We Go and Secrets. I think those are two of the best songs for single choices. You know what? As well as Beautiful Trauma. I think Beautiful Trauma would be a great single choice as well. All good songs. She has so many choices on the it's just a great project. But yeah, my favorite tracks on the album were Beautiful Trauma, What About Us. Love that song. I want to say Where We Go, Secrets, and I Am Here. Yeah, I think those are my favorite songs off the album. And my least favorite songs off the album are Barbies and Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. But even those songs are really not that bad, to be honest. So shout out to Pink. I really hope this song gets Grammy love. I think it'll definitely get some love at the Grammys next year. You know, What About Us is eligible for Best Pop Solo Performance this year. And I hope Pink gets that Grammy nomination. But I don't know if she's going to get it. But I think, to me, What About Us, I think is one of the best pop songs out this year, hands down. And I hope it gets love. But if it doesn't get love for the song, I hope the album gets nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album. I think it'll be one of the best pop albums in the next Grammy period. So I hope it gets love at the Grammys, for real, for real. Alrighty, guys. So my rating for this album is a 4 out of 5. I think this album is great. Not a masterpiece, but one of the best pop records of the year so far, and definitely, in my opinion, one of Pink's better. I don't. You know, Pink's catalog is so strong that I don't even know if I'd say this is one of her best albums. But you know, I like this album, so I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not gonna bring up that debate right now. But definitely one of the best pop records of the year, and in my opinion, just another great addition to Pink's catalog. Definitely not a bad album at all. So yeah, I give this album a 4 out of 5. Alrighty, guys, so that was my review for Pink's new album, Beautiful Trauma. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Go ahead and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your opinions about the album. Let me know if you liked the album. Let me know if you did not like the album at all. If you're a fan of Pink, let me know what you thought about the tracks. Let me know your least favorite tracks. Let me know the tracks that you really liked. And just let me know what you thought about my review, okay? I'd love to hear your feedback, alright? So go ahead and hit this video with some likes and some shares. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Show your boy some love. Support your boy, alright? But yeah, on a serious note, guys, like I said before, continue to live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you are mad, go and listen to your favorite song, alright? It'll make you feel better, okay? You hear me? Alright, cool. Alright, y'all, this has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid, and I am signing off.
My perfect rock bottom, beautiful trauma.